Today's topic is synesthesia. Synesthesia is a neurological problem where, basically, let us understand the basics. Color we can see, right? We can see color, we see color. We cannot hear color, right? Color is a visual thing. Hearing is an audio thing. And sound we can hear, but we cannot see sound. We cannot see sound, right? There are different types of synesthesias. Means today I will speak specifically of persons who can hear sound. You heard me right. Means who can hear color. Sound we can hear, who can hear color. And hearing color is something odd, means it sounds also different, right? And hearing color, I am repeating, and seeing sound. Some persons can see sound. Sound we hear, we can't see. And color we see, we can't hear, right? So, people who can see color and hear color, and persons who can hear sound and see sound, they have a neurological problem. Means I don't think it is a problem. It is a blessing in disguise. It is a boon in disguise, right? How? I will come to that. Because it is not a disability in that sense. In general, it will not hinder that person's routine or normal lifestyle, right? So, I will repeat again. We see color, we can't hear color. And we hear sound, and we can't see sound. Don't worry, sometimes even I am confused. Means, jokes apart. But there are persons who can see color and hear color. And some persons can hear sound and see sound, right? So, this is called chromesthesia. Means you can Google, Wikipedia, YouTube, there are so many sources. But what I am trying to connect is this neurological problem, which they call as a problem, I find an idea can change your life. Of course, there are already research going on to help blind persons see, visually impaired persons, visually challenged persons see, and auditorily people who can't hear, who are born deaf. Means when I am using blind and deaf, these words, handicap words, this is for description and not discrimination. Because people understand these words. So, usually we call visually challenged, orally challenged, Okay, I have got no issues with that political correct words, but these are words, basic words which everyone knows. So this synesthesia can be a boon, a blessing in disguise for blind persons and deaf persons. Right? How? I will come to that. Already research is on, $1 billion, $1 trillion research is going on in USA, UK, various countries, in our country also. But still nothing concrete has come out. They are doing things under a trial and error basis. That is how research goes. Nothing wrong in that. But sometimes when we try to achieve what God has given, means I am a believer, so I use the word God. Those who don't believe can use the word nature, science, or whatever word they want. Right? So God has given a vision. God has given us 5 senses. Synesthesia can occur in all our famous 5 senses. Then we have 6 senses. Nowadays they say there are 7 senses. But this is a totally different topic. I want to focus on one specific topic of how some persons can hear color and see sound. And this is a blessing in disguise. Right? I may sound repetitive, but I have got no choice, because without that you will not understand the gravity of this subject. Right? Now just tell me, we know this famous Vibgyor, means color, rainbow color, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Right? Everyone knows this. Some in reverse way. But I was always bothered as a teenager. Why violet is called violet? Why indigo is called indigo? Why green is called green? Why red is called red? Means yellow, orange, red. Colors have names, right? But who gave these names to these colors? See, if I teach a small child reverse, means instead of violet, if I tell him, if I show him violet color, a new child who is learning for the first time color scheme, and tell him that violet is red, he will register that. He will say, whenever violet color is shown as per our standards, he will say this is red color. Right? So these colors which we see green color, we can see green color in our mind's eye. So I would like to think as the first person on this earth. Supposing if I first time saw green color, no one told me this is green color. So who decided to call this color by this name? Means green by green, yellow by yellow. Various names are there for color. There are so many colors. Now we have standard definition, high definition, HD, 4K, 8K, 10K. God, means God forbid. So many colors. Computers can mix and match so many colors. Right? So I will repeat that question. Why green is called green and not red? Means who can prevent us from that? Right? If someone is thought differently, he will learn differently. Then sounds also. Before that, let me give you a technical definition so that you can understand this when the medical electronics part comes in this. Means color is a wavelength of light. This is not a physics class. Don't get bored. I will keep it short and sweet. Other persons who don't understand this can refer Google or go to their teacher, physics teacher. So color is a wavelength. Our visible spectrum is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red, right? After red, there is infrared, right? Infrared is there, then microwave radio is there, radio and television waves, radar waves, infrared. Then ultraviolet, on the violet side, ultraviolet. After ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays. So from ultraviolet, X-ray and gamma rays, these are high frequency ionic radiation, means it can change excuse me, it can change molecules, like when an atom bomb explodes, it can change our genetic DNA, it can change our code. So ionic radiation is dangerous. At the infrared level, which we can't see, heat is generated. Infrared level, wavelength is low, means wavelength is high. Wavelength of red is high. Therefore, we see it first and fast. Wavelength of violet is low. So frequency, basic rule to avoid this confusion is, frequency is inversely proportional to wavelength. Everywhere in physics, basic thumb rule, frequency is inversely proportional to wavelength. If wavelength is more, frequency is less. If frequency is more, wavelength is less. So ultra, whenever you are using the word ultra, it is frequency is high. Infra, frequency is low. So infrared, we have got infrared lights which generates heat. See, for back pain and knee pain, we are using infrared lamps which generate heat, right? And ultraviolet, X-ray and gamma rays, CT scan, imaging technology. I think 1970s CT scan came. X-rays were available from the First World War itself, 1920. And from 1980, MRI started. 1980, MRI started. I don't know the exact dates, but I know it in general, right? These are imaging devices. So CT scan uses X-rays, then MRI uses magnetic resonance imaging, and they are basically converting electromagnetic waves from the invisible spectrum to a visible spectrum, right? So these images doctors can see and only doctors can understand. It is not ours to understand. Only radiologists can understand those images. Then we have got 2D echo, 3D echo, 4D echo, color Doppler for sonography of the abdomen. We call it as ultrasonography because we are using ultrasonic waves, ultrasonic sounds to make images of whatever is in our abdomen or in our body. Especially during pregnancy, all 9 months, doctor can check very safely and accurately the status of the fetus or the baby inside the womb. So this ultrasonography, USG, helps the sound energy is converted to images. Now the computers, means artificial intelligence, computers and robotics have gone so ahead that these images are converted to 3D images which even we can see and understand. But that is another topic. I am just giving a background of how this will help, right? So now once the basic question is why green is called green. Who decided? First time when the first human being saw green color, he did not know it was called as green color. So who decided this violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Right? There are many theories, but evidence is weak. Sometimes no evidence. That is usual, nothing new. Then for sound, again frequency is inversely proportional to wavelength. So for sound, we all like music, we all like songs. So musically we are musically inclined, we enjoy music. Everyone is not a musician, but we enjoy music, we enjoy songs, we enjoy albums. So movies are a visual festival. We like movies, we watch movies, cinemascope movies, dinosaur movies, animated movies. It is a festival of colors. Then background music is also there. So if you are watching a movie without background music and sound, in mute condition, you will not enjoy it that much. With background music and sound, the movie is good to see and hear. It is a complete experience. If you only listen to a song without the visuals, of course you will enjoy the song and the visuals will automatically come in front of your eyes. Once you have watched that movie or that album or that song, once you hear that song on your iPod or whatever things you are using to hear, automatically the visuals will start playing in front of you. So it is clear that a movie experience or a TV experience, or it is a audio visual experience. I don't want to confuse you, because if you don't understand this, it will be out of context. So I am trying to simplify things so that you can understand. So only sound you can enjoy, only song also you can enjoy. Only movie also you can see, but without sound. We watch silent movies also of Charlie Chaplin. Silent movies, silent era. No sound, only background music was there, but they were not talkies. Right? So, sound. Famous sound is like there are 7 colors. Vibgyor. Sound is also do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti. In the Sound of Music, that famous song is there. D for deer, a female deer, right? A beautiful movie. I just went in flashback. See, that is the effect. If you hear a song, you can see that song on your internal virtual screen of the mind. Our brain is deadly. Means I have to again repeat, if there is a creation, there has to be a creator. Means I think God must exist. But that is not the topic here. Let us say nature for scientist lovers, for a scientific attitude. So, do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. Again, like ultraviolet means high frequency, infrared means low frequency. Low frequency means high wavelength, high frequency means low wavelength. Frequency is inversely proportional to wavelength. And the visible spectrum is wavelength, 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers. So 700 is more, wavelength is more, so that is red. 400 is less, so that is violet. So Vibgyor is 400 to 700 nanometers. Just keep it at the back of the mind. Then this is the visible spectrum. Now, audible spectrum. What are the frequencies human beings can hear? From 20 Hertz to 20,000 Hertz, right? So 20,000 hertz is also called as 20 kilohertz. 20 kilohertz. So keep it simple. From 20,000 hertz, from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, we can hear. Dogs can hear up to 40,000. Whales and dolphins 60,000. Means you can refer Google. I don't know all this. Just I am giving information. So 20 hertz is small, 20,000 hertz is big. Hertz means frequency. Frequency is wavelength per second. Right? So here 20,000 is high, 20 hertz is low. So 20 hertz, below 20 hertz, below 20 hertz, it is the subsonic frequency, or we can call it as the infrasonic frequency. 20,000 hertz and above, that is ultrasonic frequency or hypersonic frequency, right? So we understand from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz is from subsonic below 20 hertz to hypersonic about 20,000 hertz. So if we try and understand, so do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. This is the first octave of sound. On a piano, there are 88 keys. I am using piano because everyone understands that. Roughly 88 keys. So there is first octave, second octave, third octave, fourth octave, right? So what is the difference between this first and second octave? So whatever frequencies are there in the first octave, in the second octave, the frequency is double the first octave on the piano keyboard from left to right, right? Usually it is from 27 hertz to 4176 hertz. Left to right, the pitch and frequency goes on increasing. Okay. So first octave and second octave frequency is double the first octave. In the third octave, octave means 12 notes. We have got 5 black keys and 7 white keys. 5 black keys and 7 white keys in one octave. So 12 notes. It's getting complicated, but that is science. But I will try to simplify. So in the third octave, the frequency is double the second octave. In the fourth octave, the frequency is double the third octave. So always remember, as we go into the second, third, fourth, fifth octave, the next octave is always double the previous octave. Remember only that much. So in the first octave, supposing some frequency is 100 hertz, the same frequency in the second octave for the same key will be 200 hertz, right? So roughly in the first octave is A. We have got that A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 7 notes in music. Natural notes begins from C, D. So in the first octave is A is 55, then the second octave it is 110, in the third octave it is 220, in the fourth octave it is 440, in the fifth octave it is 880, A. I am simplifying, right? So these technical details I am giving because only then you will understand how this can be a boon to blind and deaf persons. If medical electronics, one thing we have understood now that, like we have a visible spectrum and a we have a audible spectrum. Then there is a infra spectrum for eyes and ears. Infra means lower side, ultra means higher side. So frequency wise, so violet to red, ultraviolet to infrared. So ultraviolet is higher frequency, infrared is lower frequency, right? In sound, 20 Hertz is lower frequency, 20,000 Hertz is higher frequency. So just for basic, if you will see, frequency wise, ultraviolet is high, infrared is low. Sound wise, initial side 20 Hertz, do first octave, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So this comes from lower frequency to higher frequency. So lower do coincides with red, right? So if you come in a reverse way, so do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, because frequency is from low to high, right? So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do will be red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet, because frequency of red is low, frequency of violet is high. So infrared, ultraviolet, infrasound, ultrasound, remember ultrasonography, right? So I will not go into the medical electronics details. Already research is on, people are converting sound waves, as I said, in imaging technology. CT scan, X-ray is used, MRI, magnetic resonance imaging is used, in 2D echo, 3D echo, Doppler, ultrasonography is used, ultrasound is used, right? Ultrasonic waves are used. So we are already converting different wavelengths to images, imaging technology, radiology. It is a boon for everyone. The famous James Webb telescope, Hubble was already famous, but it was for the visible spectrum and slightly it covered ultraviolet and infrared slightly. James Webb telescope, why it is famous? It is basically designed to observe frequencies beyond the visible spectrum, that is infrared, right? We have heard about thermal imaging, we have heard about night vision. Night vision means thermal vision, right? Thermal imaging, where body heat is sensed. To sense heat, we always require infrared, because infrared, microwave radiation background, radio and television waves, AM, FM, shortwave, for radio and television. They are in the infra section. So they generate heat. So for thermal vision or night vision, here also we are converting infrared light to our vision, which James Webb telescope is also doing, more or less. So the visions are, the pictures are excellent, absolute. So if instead of trying to be perfect, like make an eye which is like God, or make a hearing like our natural hearing, if we use this frequency and wavelength formula and associate lower frequencies of light with lower frequencies of sound, so infrared to subsonic or infrasonic, and ultraviolet to hypersonic or ultrasonic. There are formulas, but that is not the topic here. So imagine if we convert these signals, visual signals, cameras, and then send them at the visual cortex, where our brain sees things. Eyes collect information like camera, and vision is a miracle of our brain, It is a miracle. And it is not easy. So we have not yet succeeded in completely helping visually impaired people or with people with hearing problems. But we are trying. That is also good. Nothing wrong in that. So this technology can be used. Then coming to our basic thing, means now this frequency thing I have told, medically or medical electronics, because this will be required at a higher level research. This is not a every ordinary Tom, Dick and Harry's job. Dedicated research people are required for this thing, to convert sound to light, light to sound, right? So if we can use that, converting light to sound and sound to light, like when we hear, now I am recording, I have a mic, so my voice is recorded by the mic, this my energy of talking is converted to electromagnetic things, electromagnetic waves, and when the speaker vibrates in your headphone or on your laptop and computer, this same electrical energy, the speaker will vibrate and produce air waves, and your ear can hear. So my voice vibrations in the air is converted to electromagnetic field, and electromagnetic waves are converted back by the speaker into air waves. So that boom is there, boom. If you use very big speakers, we can feel the air coming or moving around the speaker. Similarly, visual technology we can use and convert visual to sound and sound to visual for handicapped persons. Technology is already there. We have artificial intelligence, we have robotic intelligence. Our robots are now becoming near human, means not near human, but humanoids. See, I can see many big companies are investing, doing research for making driverless cars. Driverless cars on the road, then they will come for driverless planes. Driverless cars are not remote controlled cars. They drive on their own. They have cameras to see around, they have radars to feel the distance, if something is touching them or not. So they are using cameras for visuals, radars for sound energy, like bats. Even whales use sound energy, dolphins use sound energy, right? So in a driverless cars, which is now more or less near perfect in controlled environment, so it can drive properly on known roads. In controlled environment, driverless cars really do not require driver and they can drive on their own. So this same technology, why we want driverless cars? Anyway we can drive, we can see and hear. So instead of, means my logic is investing money on these driverless cars. It is okay for some reasons. If we use this same technology in a helmet, driverless technology in a helmet, and give it to a blind person, maybe he can walk on our roads, because a driverless car is anyway blind. There is no human being inside. It is driving on its own. It is seeing via the camera and feeling the distances via the radar, which is converted, which is attached to it. Reverse camera is there, rear camera is there, 360-degree rotating camera is there, or maybe 4 cameras in 4 directions, 4 radars in 4 directions. Like our 2 eyes and 2 ears, we can move our head up, down, and we can sense our area. We can see and hear. At the same time, we can analyze both information. So if this driverless technology, with these industrialists are investing heavily in hybrid cars, electric cars with diesel, electric cars with petrol, hybrid technology, because naturally they want new ideas, energy saving ideas, profit making ideas, nothing wrong in that. But along with this research, if they go for inventing a helmet, like robots have robotic heads, they have cameras and ears also. Robots can talk with us, speak with us, but they, of course, they cannot understand everything. It takes time. Robotic vision and our vision, whatever we can analyze in 1 second, it is difficult for robot to understand that things. But if you are going for a driverless car, if this technology is used in a helmet, I think it can help our visually impaired persons, blind persons, and even it can help our soldiers also. They can go into areas where only robots can go, because see, as on date, many people say that artificial intelligence will replace human beings and robots will rule the earth. That means that this is a joke. Human beings no one can replace. A creation can never replace a creator. It is not possible. It is an illogical thing. If scientists are saying that artificial intelligence will control human beings, it is the most unscientific statement. Means that is the thing. So once you understand this driverless technology, what is speed of light? 3 lakh kilometers per second. What is speed of sound? 300 meters per second. 3 lakh kilometers per second is speed of light. 300 meters per second is speed of sound. So there is no comparison. But God has made it like that only. Therefore we can see stars. We can see stars. We can see galaxies billions, trillions light years away. But we can't hear them, because sound cannot travel in vacuum. Light can travel in vacuum. Basic physics. Now why God has made like this, God knows. Scientists are trying to analyze, but they are not God. They have their limits, and there is no shame in accepting our limits, right? But research and development must go on. So driverless car technology, artificial intelligence, robotic intelligence, all this can be converted into an helmet, and we can make a helmet which a blind person can wear, or which our soldiers can wear, and do good for human beings. So if a driverless car can drive in a controlled environment, naturally this driverless helmet, if we use the technology in a helmet, it will help blind persons to at least move around, right? Of course it is easier said than done, I understand, but it is possible. It is not impossible. We know our visual cortex area, we know our hearing areas in the brain, we know how we hear, how we see. So now it is just a matter of converting, like my sound is converted by the mic into electromagnetic waves, and by the speaker again into sound, air waves, right? So means what is difficult in that? You have money to invest in driverless cars, but you don't want to use the same technology to help blind and deaf persons. Research should be for mankind, for human beings, and not for destruction. Means I believe in William Wilkinson's theory, one world, one nation. We must not only abolish nuclear weapons, but we must abolish war. Because as long as we have these firearms, nuclear weapons, there is always a danger of our species becoming extinct because of our mistakes. So that is another topic, right? So what happens? I started with synesthesia. I am not forgetting, I know. So people, there are different types of synesthesia connected to sight, smell, hearing, taste, touch, five senses and sixth sense. And there is a crosstalk between these areas. So visual area get overlapped with our ears, smell and touch get connected. These five senses can get mixed. So they call it as a neurological problem, but which is not a disability in that sense. It usually doesn't hurt too much, right? So what is the advantage? Means my logic is, this is my thought process. I am sharing with you. Because origin of languages, there are 5,000 to 10,000 languages on this earth. Now you must be thinking, oh, suddenly where this language topic has come. Relax. I know what I am talking. 5,000 to 10,000 languages are there on the earth. In my country, 36 states are there. Each state has a language, 36 languages in India. Then we have this 3 language system: national language, local language and foreign language. Right? Roughly in the United Nations, officially 200 nations are there. So assuming that each nation has at least one language, there are 200 languages as of means. But in Europe itself, there are more than 10 to 20 languages. Some are extinct, some are running, some are in between. There are 7 continents. But officially it is clear, 5 to 10,000 languages are there. And 7,000, so average is 7,500, means I like average. Average is 7,500. So maybe there may be 7,500 languages. I am not aware, I have not counted. But some languages have letters and alphabets. Alphabet is a set of letters. Numbers. Now this linguistics or this language doctorates, experts in language, they say all languages originated in Africa. That is the basic problem. Aryan migration theory. I have a video on that. Everywhere anthropologists, paleontologists, they will say everything begins from Australia, Australia also and Africa also, Australasia. Main their target is Africa. South, North, East, West Africa, everything starts from Africa. Then spreads worldwide, North and South Pole. So they think all languages also originate in Africa. But this is insulting God or nature. If you are a believer, you use God. If you are a scientist or atheist, you can use nature. We can always agree to disagree. There is no dogfight in this. To each his own. So, we are underestimating God, the ultimate creator. See, there are so many languages, as I said, 7,500 languages average. Some languages are only spoken and heard languages. They don't have letters. They don't have alphabets. right? And there are so many languages. Each language in our country, 33 languages have their own alphabets and letters, set of letters, right? One person can't talk with other person. Even in our currency note you can see the languages. So I don't understand how can scientists make claim that all languages originated from Africa and spread worldwide. My logic is simple. Every continent, now they are independent. Once they were connected 250 million years ago in Pangea. Refer Google. So many languages worldwide, in Europe, in USA, UK, different types of English, different type of French, different type of Spanish. The dialect changes, verbs, adverbs, grammar, right? See, I know what I am talking, so please stay with me. It is difficult, but I have to explain this. So many languages, 7,500 languages, many without letters and alphabets, only spoken languages. Some languages are extinct, some languages are still surviving, right? Languages have alphabets, letters, numbers. There is always a war going on. Which language is oldest, which language is youngest. I am not into all those contradictions. I am not bothered about that. What I want to understand is, how can 7,500 languages, different languages, come into existence in that specific areas with letters. Letters are symbols. So I will stick to a simple example. Supposing A to Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G to Z, and 0 to 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, now we have been taught in a specific way. A is a symbol, A. How A is written we know. Now when I say A, you know what A is, and there is capital A and small a also, and that is more dangerous. In all languages there is capital and small. Few languages capital and small are not there, and few languages don't have letters also. Right, so A is A for apple, B for bat. See, immediately apple has come in front of our eyes, bat has come. C for cat, D for dog, right? Now you tell me, this we have learned. Someone has taught us A, then there are vowels, A, E, I, O, U. Other are consonants. If you remove this A, E, I, O, U, some say Y and W also. Other are consonants. Now you tell me, why A is written in a specific way? A, B. A is like this, right? B is, C is gestures. This is called as gestures. Sign language. That is another language. Many people say, many scientists claim that sign language began from sign language, from gestures, alphabets came. There is no evidence for all this linguistic talks, or the evidence is very weak and not reliable. Some say language began 1 lakh years ago. Some are sure it began around 10,000 years back. So in the Pleistocene era and Holocene epoch, which is now on. But my basic question is, supposing if I teach a new child who doesn't know A to Z, and I teach reverse, if I tell him A is Z and tell him that symbol of Z, I will tell him that is A and that is for apple. So naturally he will learn that. So A to Z I will teach him reverse. So Z to A I will tell him A, B, C, D, E, F, G like that. So for me Z will be A and A will be Z. So now you are already on a roller coaster, right? But try and understand. See, if I teach reverse 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I teach a child that 9 is 0, 8 is 1, 7 is 2, simple. He will learn like that. We are used to 0, 1. When I say 1, you can visualize 1. When I say 2, you can visualize 2. When I say 3, you can visualize 3. See, when I say A, you can visualize A. So A is a sound and there is a symbol A which you are visualizing, and apple is an image, right? So A, E, I, O, U I am saying, and you can see A capital, small a, E, I, O, U capital and small. So my saying will give rise to visuals, alphabetic visuals, A, B, C, D. In different languages, different letters and alphabets are there. Like in our case, Devanagari, we have got Barakhadi, means A, A, I, I, U, A, I, O, A. Then K, K, G, Gh, D, Dh, N. See, this when I am saying K, a person who has studied our language knows how K is written. So K is a symbol, a sound associated with a symbol. So some classical masters, our ancestors, they knew this technique of associating sound with a symbol. A is a sound, A has a symbol. B is a sound, B has a symbol, right? So sound to image. And when I see A, I can hear A, right? So see, small children's, means in kindergarten 0 to 5 years, that's ABCD books, they have very big A, capital A is very big, colorful books are there. It is colored, A is colored, B is colored, C is colored, so cat, dog, M for monkey, and so on. They have got big alphabets, and as we grow older, our alphabets start getting smaller and smaller, and it becomes miniaturized. So initially we are learning big A for apple, right? So that child visualizes A symbol and sound A. B for bat, so symbol of B and a photograph of bat, right? So this is a sound to symbol conversion. Sound is converted to image for us to remember. Our photographic memory is stronger than our audio memory, but our both memories are equally strong. Whatever is sound when we hear, see, whenever we hear some old song, good songs, we go in flashback. It can generate images. It can take us back in time. A sound can take us back in time, can make us emotional. A taste can make us emotional. Or a photograph. If you watch a school time photograph, that photograph will take you back to live memories, flashback. So just see, that image is taking you back. It is giving you live videograph. You literally go there. This happens in what we call as trauma disorders. A person who has got through a bad experience, whenever he recalls that experience, he has physiological problems because of that experience. Post-traumatic disorder, it is called as post-traumatic disorder. So a sign or a sound can terrorize him. A bomb blast, if he has gone through a violent bomb blast and if he has seen his loved one die, that can cause him tremendous problem. Whenever he hears that sound, he can go into that same phase. So these movies are doing same thing. We are watching dinosaurs movies, animated movies. Movies can make us cry, make us laugh. Then those visuals can give us audio recall, songs can take us back to that visuals. So our brain is already into this synesthesia, this word which I started with, which doctors think is a neurological problem. I think it is a blessing in disguise. See, means my logic is very simple. When the first human being first time saw a rose, he did not know it was called as rose. There are so many flowers, so many names. If you go to dictionaries of the world, all languages have dictionaries. They have their grammar, their verbs, adverbs, adjectives, nouns, pronouns and whatnot. Grammar is like maths, very difficult. Means I was really, very difficult subjects, grammar and mathematics. Too logical, right? But that has to be there. So different languages, dictionaries are there. For the same fruit, there are so many names. For the same color, there are so many names. Same vegetables. So there are so many vegetables, so many colors, so many things. Sea, river, sky, stars, days, months, right? Various names are there. So in the first place, I always had this thought process as a teenager. Who named rose as rose, as lotus, brinjal as brinjal? Who called green color as green? So in synesthesia, when a person sees a color, we see color, he hears a sound for a color. So I think maybe it was all these languages, these world dictionaries, world vocabularies, letters, alphabets, symbols. I think this must have been a synesthetic person who must have first time heard the sound A. I am using English alphabets because everyone is familiar with A to Z and 0 to 9. So I think it must have been a synesthetic person. I don't know the proper word. There are so many words, right? So he must have first time heard A, and when he heard this, I think he must have seen that symbol of A, because synesthesia of sound, when they hear something, hear something, they see. Don't get confused. When they hear some sound, they see images, right? Sound synesthesia. I am using simple words. In color synesthesia, when they see color we see, they hear sound. So I think maybe a synesthetic person, he must have seen green color first time and he must have heard the voice green. My logic means. Otherwise it doesn't make sense. Why violet is called violet? Indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Why do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti is called as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti? Who told these persons that this is violet color? First time, this is violet color. I am doing gestures. See, this is sign language. Gestures. This is normal, automatic. But I hope you get my point. So I think these synesthetic persons in various continents, synesthesia is supposed to affect around very less percentage, 4%, 5%, maybe 10% of the population, 5 to 10%, or maybe less. So I think only a synesthetic person can convert a sound to a visual. A, E, I, O, U. So I think when he saw A loud, he must have seen capital A. When he must have heard small a sound, he must have seen small a symbol. Now it is really means this is the only logical explanation. And now shapes. Why round is called round? Who decided this is round, this is square, this is rectangle, this is triangle? Round is round, square is square, rectangle has 490-degree angles, triangle has 3 angles, but then there are 3D triangles like a pyramid. We have got octagon, hectagon, right? So number 1, when I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can visualize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Now you tell me, I think only a synesthetic person can hear one sound, hear 1, 2, 3, and see the symbol of 1, right? This is the only logical explanation for this complicated dictionaries. See at the dictionaries. Every language has a dictionary. So I think these specially gifted persons, our ancestors, they could hear sound and see the symbol or see something. For example, like I said, the color synesthesia. When they see something, they can hear a sound. So I think first time when that synesthetic person saw a ball. Now why a ball is called a ball? I don't know. It is called a ball, so I call it a ball. Simple. I have been trained like that, to call a ball, to call a spade. Right? Why hammer is called hammer? Why it is not called chisel? So only a synesthetic person can see a shape. See, now he is seeing a shape, seeing color, wavelength, and now he will hear a sound. So I think first time this synesthetic person must have seen this round, he saw this round thing and he heard a sound, round. He saw a square thing, then he heard the sound square, right? So otherwise I always have these geometrical shapes. Why specific things are given that names? Sometimes logically you can answer, sometimes, but it is very less. All the words in this world of different languages are totally different. We cannot speak or understand all languages, read, write. Reading and writing is ultimate in language. That is called literate person. He can read and write. Otherwise, even illiterate person can speak a language and understand a language, right? So spoken language and hearing that language is the basic thing. But literate person can read and write that language apart from speaking and hearing. Without speaking and hearing, you cannot read and write. So many languages have so many alphabets, letters, words, and there is no connection between that language and this language. You cannot directly convert any language to any other language. Different things are known by different words. Sentences, syntaxes are different, grammars are different. Grammar is different. Now again here is a grammatical problem. Are different or is different? But I am just talking extempore. As I said, I never prepare for my videos. I do my basic homework and I share knowledge. I am not here to debate anything. Give and take knowledge and try to understand Why specific chair is called a chair, table is called a table? In different languages it is called in a different names. Who gave that name in the first place? Means I am always think about that. Means who became the first doctor in this world? Who became the first scientist in this world? These are all, there is no evidence for all these things. How language, origin of languages. There are so many theories, zero evidence or weak evidence. Development of language, audio visuals. See, we like TV and movies, we read books, we read comics, we enjoy reading also. But TV and movie is the ultimate experience. Or when we go on a safari, picnic, watching a sea beach live or watching a jungle safari live is always a greater, higher experience than watching a jungle safari on Discovery Channel or National Geographic Channel. Of course, we can enjoy that, but watching it in reality is superb, right? But now tell me, when the first time our first human being saw a giraffe. Now I know it is a giraffe. Why is giraffe not called a camel? Why camel is not called a giraffe? I don't know. You answer, you are the experts. So I think this must be a synesthetic person who saw a giraffe and heard the sound giraffe. Like there are visionaries, anecdotes, scientists call this as anecdotes, or legends. See, all stories, all histories after a time become legends. Proofs are not available always. Documentaries evidence is available from the First World War onwards, when technology developed to an extent that we were reading, writing and recording everything, TV and movie and radio. So from 1920 to now 2022, roughly 100 years of documentary evidence is there for everything. But we don't have evidence for everything. So absence of proof is not proof of absence. So when you are calling an elephant an elephant is known by different names in different languages. Now if we are all same human beings, we have come from Africa, like these anthropologists say, then why we are having these different dialects, different languages? We have different race also, we look different, we think different, our culture is different, our thinking patterns are different, our physiology, anatomy, psychology is different. Why? So this common ancestry thing is weak evidence, empirical evidence is not there. I think all these species, all languages were born independently in that continent or that place. Even in synesthesia, it is clear that one specific person will always see the same color and hear the same sound for the same color, or for a sound he will see the same color, that specific person. So for example, one synesthetic can see for a sound a specific color, but another synesthetic person can, for a sound he can see some different color. So that is a different language. So only the origin of all languages, especially written languages, languages which can be read and written, which you can read and write. This is a higher skill, reading and writing, high cognizability, higher skill. So when you are reading and writing a language, you have got grammar, text, syntax, everything. So only a person with color synesthesia can see something and hear for that whatever he sees. And a person with sound synesthesia can hear something and he can see color and shape, right? So many colors, we are giving so many names. So I think someone with synesthesia who saw a color violet and he heard the sound violet, right? And a person who saw a square thing or a round thing, saw, but he heard a sound square and round. And because these objects are square and round, they have got different names in different languages, though they represent the same shape. Alphabets are different for 200, 300 languages, official languages. At least 1000 languages are there now, extinct, and 1000 are existing. There are so many in Egypt than our Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Undeciphered languages, pictographs are still there. We are not able to comprehend what those alphabets or pictographs mean. I think here a synesthetic person can help us. A person who can see and hear something, who can see a picture and hear something from that picture. I think if we show that pictograph to a person with synesthesia of picture or sound, they will give us a sound to color conversion and color to sound conversion. I think we can use this. This is a boon, blessing in disguise. Anyway, it is not a disability in that sense, right? Some points I have noted, and once you understand this, means how color can be converted to sound, frequency and wavelength. So we can use driverless technology, artificial intelligence, autopilot technology, imaging technology, medical electronics, CT scan, X-rays, as I repeated. So instead of wasting our research in making hybrid cars, hybrid planes, means where the heck we are going? Means why do you want a car or a car which travels like a plane? Already planes are there. Why we want to mix things? Means we have to understand कि different means. Also, one more thing I remember now. You must have heard many musicians, they convert lyrics or poems to song, right? Lyrics and poems to song. And these ordinary musicians or great musicians will say that music is hidden in that poetry itself. They say that when they get that poem or that lyrics written by a poet or a lyricist, he writes a poem or a song, he writes, right? Then our musicians convert that lyrics into a song. See, now there is a lyric which is alphabetic, which has got words and sentences, which is basically a poem, but it is converted to a song by a musician, right? So words, alphabets, a poem, a song is converted by a musician, a poetry or a poem is converted to a song by a musician. A singer will sing, he or she. Then a choreographer, a dance expert, will make out of that musical song, he will make a visual, a dance, he will direct a dance on that song. So he is converting now, that poem is already converted to a song by our musician, and now our choreographer or director is converting that song into a visual which we can see. Especially in Bollywood is famous for that song dance sequence. Of course, these first world countries laugh at our song dance sequence, but we are happy, we enjoy. We are not ashamed of Bollywood, we are proud of Bollywood, right? So TV and movies, background music is there. See, in a horror movie or any movie, in a escape sequence, James Bond movie, if that audio visual is there for a escape sequence or a violent sequence of fight, like in martial arts, that sequence which we are seeing, without background music, the effect will not be there. Especially in horror movies, background music is required. Otherwise, there wouldn't be awards for this background music. and also there are awards for Grammy awards for music, pure music. So lyrics, and see, musicians what they say, that music is hidden in those words. See, this is also a type of synesthesia. When he hears a song, see, when musician sees the lyrics or reads the lyrics, he is not hearing, he is reading the lyrics. So while reading the lyrics, he is converting it to a song. So now visual poetry, written poetry is converted to a music, a song. So that is synesthesia. Usually it is seen people in artistic field, people with higher IQ and higher EQ, emotional quotient artists, musicians, painters, dancers, movie makers, creative directors, story writers, their emotional quotient is high, right? So they also have that synesthesia effect. See, these movies can make us cry and laugh. These songs can take us back and forth in time. It can make you feel sad. So that is the power. Similarly, this another topic, scientist. Emotional quotient is high for artists, musicians, painters, dancers. For scientists, their IQ is very high. So let us assume that average IQ is 100, average emotional quotient is 100, just for our convenience sake. So plus minus 10, so 90 to 110 is average IQ, 90 to 110 is average emotional quotient, 90 to 110 is average physical quotient, 90 to 110 is average spiritual quotient, average. So anything double is very high, right? So if my IQ is say 100 average, Einstein is 200 or 300, roughly. I have not calculated. I am not interested also. And EQ. So IQ, scientist, theoretical physics, theoretical chemistry, theoretical biology, theoretical, everything theoretical. So first everything starts as a thought. So my thought is the first thing. So Wright brothers first thought of a plane. Then they made the basic plane. So their thought process was converted to a three-dimensional plane. See, microcosm to macrocosm, right? So IQ, very high IQ. Average IQ is 100. So I think Nobel Prize winners must be 200 or from 150 to 200, maybe more than that. They are scientists, doctors, double doctors, triple doctors. But then there is also synesthesia, because scientists also imagine and visualize many things which do not exist. Wright brothers' scientific statement at that time was, heavier than air objects cannot fly. Wright brothers ignored this statement and made a plane which flew. So every time scientific statements are not true, right? So they are saying, Einstein said, respected Sir Einstein said, time is a dimension. He could visualize time. This space-time is a deadly thing in theoretical physics. They are saying gravity is like a trampoline or a sheet of rubber sheet. So if you put a ball on it, it will jump. Gravitational ripples. Special theory of relativity, where gravity is not concerned. General theory of relativity, where gravity is concerned or connected, right? So now these things, they are visualizing. Scientists in strings theory, they are visualizing 10 dimensions. Here we are finding it difficult to imagine 3D things, and they are talking about 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D. We are not able to make 3D technology in the real sense. 3D movies are also very less, very costly. So, when this space-time thing and time travel things comes, they are talking about warp technology, wrap technology. See, this they are imagining. So, this is also a space, time and maths synesthesia. So, usually very high EQ person has this synesthesia, which is a gift. Otherwise, converting a poetry to a song or converting a written novel into a movie, audio visual effect. We are reading Harry Potter and then we are watching a movie Harry Potter. So reading is different, writing Harry Potter is another skill. Reading and writing is a different skill. Now converting that written novel or story into a movie, audio visual impact. Movies we will watch, it is better than reading. We can enjoy watching TV and movie. We enjoy watching TV and movie. But look at that person, he is visualizing all that things. That director, movie director, therefore he is getting the best direction, best background score, best actor. The actor is also imagining he is that character. So these persons technically must have synesthesia, but it is a gift. It is not a disorder. Otherwise you can't be a good creative person. Similarly, TV and movie, high emotional quotient. Now, theoretical physics, scientists, dimensions, 10 dimensions. Some are hidden, some are visible, some are not visible. Then they have maths. They have their imaginary frame of reference. Then to justify that imaginary frame of reference, they will have they invent mathematics, imaginary number, complex number, real number, fraction. My God, means this high IQ person can really terrorize ordinary persons like me, means low IQ persons, only 100. They terrorize us, means they are terrorists, intellectual terrorists. So, but they are imagining time as a dimension. Space is a dimension, but time as a dimension. Then they are visualizing 4 dimension, 5 dimension, 6 dimension, 7 dimension. How can they visualize? They can visualize because whatever they are seeing, they can hear. Whatever they are hearing, they can see. They can see their mathematical formulas in 3 dimension. A mathematical formula in 3 dimension, it is theoretical physics, theoretical chemistry, theoretical biology. So this is a type of intellectual synesthesia, space-time math synesthesia. But it is a gift. It is a gift. It is a boon. It is not a curse. So we have heard many people say, you are a visionary. They can visualize things. Because every small thing starts as a story. A thought process is there. You think, then you visualize, then a drawing comes. For a scientist, a drawing comes, mathematics comes. Then it is materialized. Rockets are made, instruments are made, telescopes are made. But first, it is a thought process. Microcosm to macrocosm. Similarly, when a movie maker makes a movie, he is first reading the story. Then he is casting the actors. He is visualizing all that story. Right? See, that we have to understand. And then he makes a movie, which was basically a small story or a novel. And he makes an interesting movie. Sometimes there are part 1, part 2, part 3. TV serials can go on and on for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, right? So these people who are not ordinary, extraordinary people with higher EQs, they are in fields which are different. They are not ordinary people. 80% who will go on a job, who will become engineer, doctor, simple things, basic things. They will win their bread, get married, have kids, produce children, grandchildren and die one day. ordinary persons. Nothing wrong in being an ordinary person. Even I am an ordinary person. What can be done? You cannot compare fish, like Einstein said. Fish and birds cannot be compared. Eagle and ducks cannot be compared. Fighter planes and ordinary planes cannot be compared. Everyone has a hardware and software. Everything has a hardware and software. Even human beings, we say we are all human beings, equally capable. That is not true. We all human beings have different IQs, different EQs, different physical quotient, different spiritual quotient. So these different religions, what is that? Different saints visualizing different religions. It is good. Religion is always good. Followers are bad. All religions are good religions. Like all parents are good parents. So when different types of religions have different types of theories, different types of followers, so the founder of that religion has to have a very high, because philosophy is connected to, not connected to physics or logic. Philosophy is connected to the emotional thing. It is an emotional thing. You are thinking of things which doesn't exist. Theoretical physics and theoretical philosophy are more or less same. They are at par. One has high IQ, one has high EQ, and they are inversely proportional. Philosophy has anecdotes and stories to justify their claims. Even in theoretical physics, there is imaginary frame of reference, imaginary mathematics, imaginary numbers, and so on and so forth. So synesthesia is a blessing in disguise. Means if you go through this video again, you will understand how all these things we can connect. I have tried to connect. So if you can see color, that is normal. But along with seeing color, if you can hear color, of course you go to a doctor, get analyzed. But believe me, it is a blessing in disguise. If with colors, what you are seeing, if you can hear, then that is a gift. And if whenever you are hearing a sound, see, whenever you are hearing a sound, it is normal. But if whenever a sound comes, if you can see colors or objects, believe me, this is a blessing in disguise. For me, if people in medical electronics, doctors and scientists work hand in hand, which they are already doing, and understand this frequency and wavelength thing, and use medical electronics and imaging technology, synesthesia can be, not can be, I think it is a blessing in disguise. Mark my words.